Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. To make this crochet cropped knit look cardigan with statement buttons, you're going to need a weight 4 yarn, a 5mm crochet hook and a 3.5mm crochet hook. In this tutorial I make a size small. For all other sizes, check out my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. The yarn I used was a Fluffy Day from Hobby. This yarn is a weight 4. It's on the thinner side of a weight 4, so just keep that in mind. This yarn resembles a mohair. It's really soft, but yet it's made from 100% acrylic. I used maybe 4 balls of this for a size small. Now we're going to start off with our back panel and we're going to chain 71. Place 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook and then single crochet into each of the next 7 chains. So the cardigan is worked sideways instead of working from the bottom up. So your initial chain will determine the length of your cardigan. If you want a longer cardigan, just simply add more chains. This cardigan works out about 18 inches long. So once you have your 8 single crochet, we're going to place 1 half double crochet into each of the remaining chains. At the end of the row, chain 1 and then turn your work. Now we're going to be working into the back loop of every stitch. So into that very first stitch, place a half double crochet working into the back loop, and then continue with your half double crochet into each stitch all the way across, working into the back loop only until 8 stitches remain. So now I have 8 stitches left. These are our 8 single crochet. So working into the back loop of each of these 8 stitches, place 1 single crochet. At the end of the row, chain 1 and then turn your work. Then working into the next 8 stitches, place 1 single crochet working into the back loop only. Then half double crochet into the remaining stitches working into the back loop only. And then repeat these 2 rows over and over again until you reach the end of row 59. So once you have your 59 rows completed, you're just going to go ahead and fasten off, and we're going to start our front panels. The front panels are made the same way. You start with the same number of chains, but this time for the front panels you're just going to do 25 rows. So once you have your 25 rows done for your front panels, you're just going to fasten off and leave a long tail. Your sleeves are worked the same way, but this time your starting chain is going to be 68. You're going to work the pattern the same way as the other panels. The sleeves are going to be 41 rows across. Once you have your 41 rows done, we're going to fasten off and leave a long tail. Now we're going to start seaming our pieces together. So we're going to lay our front panels on top of our back panel, and with our yarn tail and our yarn needle we're going to sew across here and the same on the other side. Now we're going to lay our piece out entirely flat, just like this. Make sure that the wrong side is facing up, that your seamed side is facing up, and then we're going to attach our sleeve. So we're going to take one of our sleeves and we're going to fold it lengthways, and where the fold is, that's the center of your sleeve. So place a stitch marker just right there in the center. Once you have that done, just open up your sleeve and we're going to attach our sleeve to the main part of the cardigan. So we're going to line that stitch marker with our shoulder seam and just attach just right there. And with a yarn needle and our long tail, we're just going to sew all the way across here, and the same on the other side. So once both sleeves are attached, we're going to fold our cardigan over, make sure the wrong side is still facing out, and with our yarn needle we're going to start sewing the under edge of our sleeve. So from here all the way around and down the edge, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to leave a cardigan to one side for a few minutes and we're going to start working on our buttons. So we're going to take some yarn and wrap it around our index finger about 6 or 7 times. And once you have that done, just pull it off your finger, just like this. And then we're going to grab our 3.5mm hook, insert it through the center, then grab your working yarn, pull that yarn right through, and then we're going to chain 1. And next we're just going to single crochet into the center of this hole, and we're going to continue making single crochets until the hole is entirely closed. For me that took about 70 single crochet. So whatever it takes for you to do for that hole to close up, just go ahead and make that number of single crochet. So you're going to continue going around your entire circle until you have 70 single crochet. You are going to be single crocheting over previous single crochets. So just keep going around until you have 70 single crochet completed. Once you have your 70 single crochet done, we're going to fasten off and leave a long tail and you're going to go ahead and make 2 more buttons. So here I have my 70 single crochet completed. My button now looks like this. So next we're going to slip stitch into the next available single crochet, and then we're going to fasten off, leave a long tail and just cut our yarn. Next we're going to thread our tail through a yarn needle, and we're going to insert that yarn needle through the stitch directly across from where the tail is and up through the top, just like so. And we're going to just pull that tight, and we're going to continue making stitches in the same way, just like this, until this back part is closed. Once the back is closed, we're just going to secure it with a few stitches and then cut our yarn, leaving a long tail. So now we're going to turn our cardigan the right side out, and we're going to attach our yarn to the bottom inner edge just right here, and we're going to single crochet all the way around until we reach the other side. So we're going to attach our yarn to the very last single crochet, and to do that just insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull that yarn through, and then just tie a knot. Then we're going to insert our hook into that same stitch, pull your yarn through and then chain 1. And we're going to single crochet into that same stitch and then continue placing 1 single crochet all the way around the inner edge until we reach the other side. So once you reach the other side, we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work. Then we're going to single crochet into each stitch all the way across. When you reach the end of this row, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet 1 more row. So altogether you're going to have 3 rows of single crochet. So now we're going to mark out where our buttonholes are with some stitch markers. So I counted 8 stitches up from the bottom, placed a stitch marker into that 8th stitch, counted another 8, placed my 2nd stitch marker, and then counted another 8 and placed my 3rd stitch marker. So continuing on from where we are now, chain 1, single crochet into each stitch until we reach the stitch directly before our first stitch marker. So here I've reached the stitch directly before our stitch marker, so I'm going to chain 3 and then I'm going to remove that stitch marker. I'm going to skip that stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to continue making single crochet into each stitch until we reach the stitch directly before our next stitch marker. So just like before, I've reached the stitch directly before my next stitch marker. I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to remove that stitch marker, and then I'm going to skip over that stitch and single crochet into each stitch until we reach the next stitch marker, and then you're going to do the same thing with your last stitch marker. You're going to chain 3, skip that stitch with your stitch marker, and then single crochet into each of the remaining stitches and continue with single crochet all the way around until we reach the other side. Once you reach the end of this row, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet another 2 more rows. When you reach your first buttonhole, just place 3 single crochets directly into that buttonhole, and then just continue placing single crochet all the way around. Once you have this row done, do 1 more row of single crochet. And then once you have your last row of single crochet completed, we're just going to fasten off and weave in all our ends. So now all you've left to do now is just sew on your buttons and you're good to go. If you liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. Don't forget the free written pattern is on my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. So until next time, take care.